I talk to a lot of actors across North America, and one of the most frequently asked questions is the topic of managers. Now, my answer to any actor who asks me about a manager is, the first thing is, it depends on the situation. You see, it doesn't matter where you are in your career. You can have multiple agents, you can have a manager. The issue really is first and foremost, is by recruiting a manager going to help your career? That's really what it comes right down to. We can talk about, doesn't matter where they are or what your situation is, you have to ask yourself, is the value going to be there to make it worthwhile for you to give away or to pay another 10 to 20% of your revenue? First of all, the manager has to see that there's an opportunity to earn money with you, but we don't need to get into that. Let's talk about the idea of, let's just say the option is yours to get a manager. And I will come back and say, are they going to bring added value to your career? Some actors will nickel and dime agents, and I've talked about that earlier in earlier modules, how it's not good to do that. Give them their 15%, whether you find the gig or not. It's a great investment for you to invest in them. And the reason why I say this is 85% of something or 90% of something is better than 100% of nothing. And this is where the agents and managers situation or question really falls into place as well. If they're going to bring added value to you, even if you're then paying a manager and an agent a total of, say, let's just say 30% to make it easy, together, combined, well, if they're getting you more work, I'd rather have 70% of a lot of work than 100% or 85% of nothing if I only have an agent or if I don't have an agent. So this is what you really need to ask yourself. What I want to talk about more specifically about this is, as actors, we sign with agents and we're thinking about getting a manager, but in reality, aren't we really just trying to build more professional relationships? Now, I'm all for the idea of getting an agent and a manager, but in the previous module, I talked about building relationships. Remember the producers, the directors, and the casting directors who would hire you once every 3 years. If you can fill the page with actively working professionals, you'll work a lot more. Well, this is another, really a derivative of that. You're trying to say, if I get a manager, I think you'll be able to find me more work. Well, a manager really is someone who's going to manage your career and manage the relationships with your agent or agents, if you have agents in multiple cities, to make sure that your tools are aligned with your brand and that they're suggesting you for relevant roles. And the manager is going to help you design your career, very much like the Actor Advantage program is designed to do, but they're going to be someone to help you with that. So if it's worth it for you to give away another 10 to 20% to do that, then I would say for sure, go for it. And quite honestly, I would suggest that to almost anybody. You need to have champions in your life, people who are going to champion you. I talked to a friend of mine who has management now in LA, and one of the biggest reasons why he signed with this company was because they were so excited to represent him. Now, there's two sides of this coin. He had a larger company that represented a lot of A-listers in Hollywood who wanted to sign him, but they were playing it cool. They were kind of like, well, let's see what happens with your film in the film festival. And it was actually at the Toronto International Film Festival, one of the biggest in the world. And it kind of scared him because it said, well, if my film is only warmly received, does that mean they're going to not want to work with me? And what he said was that the other company, the other management firm, were just thrilled. They wanted him. They saw that, they loved the film. They said that there's potential there. We want to work with you. So he ended up choosing that company, which I think, considering the size of that company, is still a very big company in LA, one of the top 10. So I thought, yeah, that was a good choice for him because he's happy and they've been doing great work for him. So fantastic. But my point is that if you're going to bring on a manager, not only do you want them to believe in you and be pumped to represent you and believe that they can help you succeed, they also need to be able to have the resources to do that. Because the last thing you need is a cheerleader without a cheerleading team or without the connections in the industry to really help move your career forward. you have to ask yourself, so there's several things to consider, whether you're signing with an agent, and a local agent in a local agency, or whether or not you're signing with a manager who's going to help manage your career. You have to ask yourself, am I getting great value here? You don't want a friend, you want a business partner. And a business partner has a network. A business partner represents other successful, you want your business partner to represent other successful people, because that means they have a track record. Yes, you're competing for time, but the reality of it is, if you're the biggest fish in the pond for a particular manager, and your career is only moderately successful, then you might want to question your decision to go with them. So, you always want to reach for the brightest star, just like the managers do. They're looking for the best actors all the time. So you want somebody who believes in you, but you also need to make sure that they have the connections and the track record to make sure that they can bring value, added value to your career. Again, you just don't need somebody else taking 10 to 20%. And your workload, if you're earning $20,000 a year and you're giving 15% away to your agent, or 10% wherever you are, just bringing on a manager and giving away another 10 to 20% makes no sense unless there's increased business. You're earning more money, enough to be able to at least pay for the added personnel that are on your team. So you have to weigh these things out and ask yourself, am I ready for this? Do I want this? Yes, personally, if you can get a manager that can bring you added value, I'd say sign with them. If there's somebody that's going to help you manage your career, plan your career, take the Active Advantage program lessons that you've learned and take it even to another level of helping you execute, then great, go for it. I'm all for it. They might even be a producer, somebody who's going to help produce your plays, or somebody who's going to help you help you take your writing that you're doing through the program and get it produced. Find investors, find applications for funding or for grants, whatever. Again, you need to weigh it out. Anything that adds value to your life. I don't want it to be something that's going to become a crutch where you can just gives you another reason to be complacent or lazy, or so you can go to a party and brag that you have a manager. Listen, anybody will sign you on. Anybody can be your manager. You can hire your mom as a manager and walk around and tell everybody you got a manager, but that doesn't mean they're helping you any. So what I'm trying to say is, in the end of the day, it's about results. You need to ask yourself, is this going to result in a better situation for me? Is it going to improve my current situation? And if it does, then I would say, yeah, move forward with it. And whether you have an agent or not, maybe a manager can help you find an agent. Because maybe some agents, they represent so many people, they just can't take the meeting with you. But if you're using the agent program and the Active Advantage program, I'm quite sure that if you're in this program, you have an agent now. So, but let's just say you don't. If you don't, then maybe a manager would be good for helping you do that. Maybe if you're at a point in your career where you're looking to branch off into other cities, maybe your manager has connections in other cities to help you get agents. Now, because I'm a believer that you should have an agent in every city that you want to work. Now you have to be able to make sure that you're able to do that. There's no sense, for instance, for a Canadian to have a manager or an agent in LA if you don't have your working papers. If you can't work, you're dead in the water before you even start. It's a waste of your time. Some actors would rather work with a lawyer because they're at the point where they're writing and they need people to manage the option, the contracts for optioning scripts. That could be too. Maybe your manager is a lawyer. Again, do your research. There's fabulous information online. Of course, with this module, I've given you information, more in-depth information about what we've been talking about managers. So again, if you think that this is an opportunity for you, I would say, great, go for it. If you're an actor with very specialized skills, for instance, maybe you speak a language that very few people speak and you have a look that very few people have, then getting agents in other cities is worth it for you because you're so niche or so unique that people will bring you in. I know an actor from, and I'm sure you all know him as well, or you've seen him and you don't know it. He's a giant. He's 7 feet tall. And he's from a little fishing village in eastern Canada. He's been in 300, he's been in Sherlock Holmes, he gets cast. Because he's so unique, it's so hard to find somebody like this that he does have agents in LA. He does have agents in the major cities who manage him because he's so unique, and it's worth it for him to look at other regions. What I'll usually tell every actor is you need to be able to become a big fish in the pond that you're in. For instance, nobody's going to fly a character actor with an average resume across the country to play a role when chances are in the local city that they're in, there are already a dozen people that can play that character. So if you are somebody who's, I don't want to say vanilla, or just more, I know I talk about focusing on your strengths and whatnot, but some of us are a little more vanilla than others, which is you need to fight to win in your region. And that's going to be, you're better off investing your time with your agent and a local manager to make sure that you own the region that you're in before you think about looking elsewhere. But like I said, if you're a giant or you speak a specific language that nobody else in the world speaks, then you might want to look at other cities. But again, all this, it's about assessing your situation. And in the end, it all comes down to the same thing. Value added. Are they adding value and more opportunities to your ability to earn a living doing what you love, to make it worthwhile to pay that extra 10 to 20% out? If it does, absolutely 100%, you do it. I would within a heartbeat. So that's what I'm saying to you, is value the situation. In the end of the day, are they giving you greater value, helping you earn more, moving your career forward than what you would be without them? And if they are, get on board. There's nothing wrong with having somebody else to help you champion your career and your life. And again, I tell you this with love. If you have any questions, don't be shy. Send us an email at info@actoradvantageprogram.com. And get back. Like I say, each of these modules, each of these action items are important that you complete them. They've been created for a reason. I want you to do what you need to do, not just what you want to do. And that's what this course is all about. I want to help you do the things that you need to do in order to earn a living doing what you love. With love.